My name is Natalie. 3 weeks ago, my husband vanished. No warning. No note. Just gone. His phone was off. His car was missing. Nobody had seen him. I filed a missing person report. Called hospitals. Called morgues. Thought he was dead. Thought he'd been in an accident. Thought the worst possible things. 72 hours later, he walked through the front door like nothing had happened. Said he needed space. Said he went to clear his head. He was lying. And the truth was so much worse than anything I'd imagined. Because he wasn't clearing his head. He was with my mother. In a hotel room. For 3 days. I met Marcus when I was 26. He was 31. A contractor. Built custom homes. Strong hands. Easy smile. The kind of man who could fix anything. We met when he renovated my kitchen. I owned a small house. Needed updates. He gave me a fair quote. Showed up on time. Did beautiful work. We talked while he worked. About everything. About nothing. He made me laugh. Made me feel seen. By the time the kitchen was done, I didn't want him to leave. He asked me to dinner on his last day. Said he'd been wanting to ask for weeks, but kept it professional until the job was finished. We dated for a year. He was steady. Reliable. The opposite of every flaky guy I dated before. When he said he'd call, he called. When he made plans, he kept them. My mom loved him immediately. Which was rare. She didn't like anyone I dated. Too picky. Too critical. Always found something wrong. But Marcus? She thought he was perfect. Finally, she said. A real man. Not those boys you usually bring around. She invited him to family dinners constantly. Treated him like the son she never had. They'd talk for hours. About construction. About sports. About nothing important. I was happy they got along. Grateful even. My dad had died when I was young. Mom had been alone a long time. It was nice to see her connect with someone. Marcus proposed after 2 years. Simple proposal. At home. Just us. Said he wanted to build a life with me. Literally. Wanted to design our dream house together. Raise kids in it. Grow old in it. We got married 4 months later. Small ceremony. Family and close friends. My mom cried through the vows. Said she'd never been happier. We bought land outside the city. Marcus started designing our house. Our forever home. I was pregnant within 6 months. Everything was perfect. Too perfect. Like a movie. Like a dream. I should have known dreams don't last. Our daughter, Emma, was born in April. Healthy. Beautiful. 10 fingers. 10 toes. Perfect. Marcus was an incredible father. Patient. Attentive. Would wake up for every night feeding even though I was breastfeeding. Said he wanted to be there. Didn't want to miss anything. My mom came over constantly. To help. To see Emma. To spend time with us. She'd hold Emma for hours. Wouldn't want to put her down. Marcus and my mom got even closer after Emma was born. They'd tag team diaper changes. Bath time. Would joke about being a team. Co-parenting the co-parent, they called it. I thought it was sweet. Thought I was lucky to have so much support. So much help. I was an idiot. When Emma was 6 months old, things started feeling off. Nothing I could name. Just a shift. A strangeness in the air. Marcus started working late more often. Said he had big projects. Demanding clients. I believed him. He'd always been a hard worker. My mom started acting weird. Jumpy. Distracted. Would end phone calls abruptly when I walked in the room. Would change the subject mid-conversation for no reason. I asked if everything was okay. She said she was fine. Just tired. Getting older. Adjusting to being a grandma. Marcus and my mom stopped being around each other as much. Which was odd because they'd been inseparable before. Now when she came over, he'd suddenly remember work he had to do. Errands he had to run. When he was home, she'd make excuses to leave early. Remembered appointments. Had things to do. It felt like they were avoiding each other. But I couldn't figure out why. I asked Marcus about it. He said I was imagining things. That nothing had changed. That I was probably just tired from taking care of Emma. That new mom anxiety was making me paranoid. I wanted to believe him. Convinced myself I was overthinking. That exhaustion was messing with my head. But the feeling wouldn't go away. The sense that something was wrong. That something was happening just outside my view. Then Marcus disappeared. It was a Tuesday. Completely normal morning. He kissed me. Goodbye. Kissed Emma. Said he had a site inspection. Would be home for dinner. He never came home. By 8 o'clock, I was worried. He wasn't answering his phone. Texts weren't delivering. I called his business partner. He said Marcus had left the site at 3. Should have been home hours ago. By 10, I was panicking. Called hospitals. Nothing. Called police. They said to wait 24 hours. That adults have the right to disappear. I didn't sleep that night. Kept checking my phone. Kept calling. Kept texting. Nothing. Wednesday morning, I filed a missing person report. The officer took it seriously when I explained Marcus would never just leave. That this wasn't like him. That something had to be wrong. They checked his credit cards. No activity. His phone was off. Last ping was near our house Tuesday afternoon. Then nothing. I called everyone we knew. Friends. Family. Coworkers. Nobody had seen him. Nobody had heard from him. I called my mom. She sounded strange, distant. Said she was sure he was fine. That men sometimes needed space. That he'd probably turn up soon. Her reaction felt wrong. Too calm. Too unconcerned. But I was too frantic to process it. Wednesday night was worse than Tuesday. I lay in bed imagining every horrible possibility. Car accident. Heart attack. Kidnapping. Murder. Every worst-case scenario played on loop in my mind. Emma kept crying. Like she could feel my anxiety. I held her and cried too. Thinking about raising her alone. About telling her someday that her father disappeared when she was 6 months old. Thursday was a blur. More calls. More waiting. More nothing. The police said they were investigating. Checking traffic cameras. Talking to people. But they had no leads. I went to his office. Searched for clues. Anything that might explain where he'd go. Why he'd leave. Found nothing unusual. Just normal work stuff. Plans for houses. Invoices. Timelines. Thursday night, I was sitting in the dark. Emma finally asleep. Phone in my hand. Staring at Marcus's contact. Willing him to call. To text. To give me any sign he was alive. And then I heard it. The front door. A key in the lock. He walked in. Casual. Like he'd been gone an hour, not 3 days. I stood up so fast I knocked over my water glass. It shattered on the floor. I didn't care. Where the hell have you been? He looked startled. Like he hadn't expected me to be upset. I needed some space. Space? Space? Marcus? You've been gone for 3 days. I filed a police report. I thought you were dead. I'm sorry. I should have called. Should have called. Should have. I couldn't even form words. The relief of seeing him alive was colliding with rage so intense I was shaking. Where were you? Just driving. Thinking. I needed to clear my head. For 3 days? Your phone was off for 3 days. The battery died. You couldn't find a charger? Couldn't borrow someone's phone? Couldn't let your wife know you were alive while she was losing her mind? I'm sorry, Nat. I wasn't thinking clearly. Why? Why did you need to clear your head? What's going on? He hesitated. Just for a second. But I saw it. The pause. The calculation. The lie forming. Work stress. A project went wrong. Client is threatening to sue. I just needed time to think about how to handle it. And you couldn't tell me that? Couldn't talk to me about it? I didn't want to worry you. So you disappeared instead? That worried me less. I know. I'm sorry. I handled it badly. It won't happen again. He tried to hug me. I stepped back. Where exactly were you? What? Where were you? For 3 days. Specifically. I told you. Driving. I went up the coast, stayed in my truck, just drove and thought. You slept in your truck for 3 days.
Yeah.
In October? When it's been freezing at night. I had a sleeping bag. I stared at him. This man I'd known for 5 years. Married for 3. Had a child with. And I knew he was lying. Every instinct in my body was screaming that he was lying. But I couldn't prove it. And I was so tired. So emotionally drained. So grateful he was alive that I didn't want to push. So I let it go. For the moment. Told him we'd talk more in the morning. That I needed sleep. He showered. Came to bed. Fell asleep immediately. Like nothing had happened. Like the last 3 days had been completely normal. I lay awake next to him. Watching him sleep. And wondering who I'd married. The next morning, I started digging. Checked his credit card statements online. There it was. 3 charges. Same hotel. 2 hours away. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Late checkout Thursday at noon. He hadn't been sleeping in his truck. He'd been in a hotel room. For 3 days. And he'd lied directly to my face about it. I confronted him before he left for work. The Coast View Inn. 3 nights. Want to try that story again? His face went pale. Nat, don't. Don't insult me further. You were at a hotel. Not in your truck. So where's the sleeping bag? Where's the evidence of this camping trip story? Okay. I was at a hotel. I just didn't want you to think I was wasting money. Wasting money? That's your concern right now? Not that you lied? Not that you disappeared for 3 days and made me think you were dead? I'm sorry. Who were you with? The question hung in the air. Heavy. Loaded. What? Who? Were you with? Nobody. I was alone. 2 queen beds, Marcus. The room you booked had 2 queen beds. Why would you book 2 beds if you were alone? I'd called the hotel that morning, pretending to be his assistant, confirming his stay, getting details. He had no answer. Who were you with? It doesn't matter. It matters to me. I can't tell you. Can't or won't. Nat, please. Just let this go. Let it go. You disappeared. You lied. You were with someone. And you want me to let it go? Yes. Please. It's complicated. Uncomplicate it. I can't. I grabbed my phone. Then I'm calling the police back, telling them I found you. Telling them you're refusing to explain where you were. Let them uncomplicate it. Don't. Then tell me. He was sweating now. Panicking. Trapped. It's not what you think. I think you were having an affair. I think you spent 3 days in a hotel room with another woman while I thought you were dead. Am I wrong? Yes. You're wrong. Then tell me the truth. I was with your mother. The room tilted. The words didn't make sense. Couldn't make sense. What? I was with your mom. At the hotel. For 3 days. I laughed. Actual hysterical laughter. Because it was so absurd. So impossible. You're lying. I'm not. You were with my mother? My mom? In a hotel room? For 3 days? That's the story you're going with. It's not a story. It's the truth. Why? Why would you be with my mom in a hotel? He said nothing. And then it clicked, the way he said it. The shame in his voice. The way he couldn't look at me. Oh my God. Nat, you're sleeping with my mother. It's not. Are you sleeping with my mother? Silence. Answer me. Yes. I don't remember the next few minutes. I think I screamed. I think I threw something. I know I told him to get out. I know he tried to explain. I know I didn't want to hear it. He left, finally. After I threatened to call the police for real. After I said I'd tell everyone. After I made it clear I never wanted to see him again. When he was gone, I called my mother. She answered on the first ring. Like she'd been waiting. Is it true? She didn't ask what I meant. Didn't pretend confusion. Yes. One word. Confirming the most disgusting, unthinkable betrayal imaginable. How long? A year. A year. A year. While I was pregnant. While I was giving birth. While I was recovering. while I was breastfeeding our daughter at 3 in the morning. For an entire year, my husband had been sleeping with my mother. Why? It just happened. It just happened? For a year? It just kept happening. Natalie, I know you're upset. Upset? Upset? You slept with my husband for a year while I had his baby. I didn't mean for it to happen. But it did. And you let it. You're my mother. I know. And I'm sorry. But I love him. Those words. I love him. Like that justified anything. Like loving him made it acceptable to destroy me. You're disgusting. Natalie, I hung up. Blocked her number. Blocked Marcus's number. Sat on the floor and cried until I couldn't breathe. The next few days were a nightmare. I had to function. Had to take care of Emma. Had to pretend to be okay while my entire world imploded. I told 2 friends. They were horrified. Wanted to confront them both. I said no. Said I just needed support. Needed help figuring out what to do next. Marcus tried to come home. I'd changed the locks. He texted from a different number. Said we needed to talk. That he could explain. That it wasn't what I thought. What else could it be? What explanation could possibly make this okay? My mom tried too. Sent letters. Showed up at the house. I didn't open the door. Didn't read the letters. Wanted nothing to do with her. Emma kept me going. She needed me. Needed bottles and diapers and baths and bedtime. Needed normalcy. Needed a mother who wasn't falling apart. So I held it together during the day. And fell apart at night after she was asleep. I hired a lawyer. Filed for divorce. Full custody. The lawyer said I had a strong case given the affair. Given who the affair was with. Said any judge would side with me. I filed a restraining order against my mother, keeping her away from me and Emma. The judge granted it immediately. Marcus fought the custody. Said he was a good father. That his relationship with my mother had nothing to do with his relationship with Emma. My lawyer destroyed him in court. Brought up the disappearance. The lying. The affair with his wife's mother while said wife was caring for their newborn. The judge was horrified. Gave me full custody. Limited supervised visitation for Marcus. And told him in no uncertain terms that his behavior was reprehensible. It's been 3 months since I found out. The divorce is almost final. Marcus sees Emma twice a month for 2 hours at a time. With a social worker present. He's still with my mother. They moved in together. Into some apartment across town. Like they're a normal couple. Like they didn't blow up 2 families to be together. My extended family has split. Half won't speak to my mother. Half think I'm overreacting. That forgiveness is important. That family is family. I've cut off anyone who thinks I should forgive this. Anyone who thinks this is something you can forgive. Emma is doing okay. She's too young to understand. To her, this is normal. Mommy's house. Daddy visits sometimes. Grandma doesn't exist. Eventually I'll have to explain it to her. When she's older. When she asks why she doesn't see Grandma. Why Mommy and Daddy aren't together. I don't know what I'll say. How do you explain something like this to your child? How do you tell her that her grandmother betrayed her mother in the worst way possible? I'm in therapy. Obviously. Processing the layers of betrayal. The husband. The mother. The year of lies. The 3 days I thought he was dead. All of it. Some days I'm angry. Furious at both of them for what they did. What they destroyed. What they stole from me. Other days I'm just sad. Mourning the family I thought I had. The mother I thought I knew. The marriage I thought was solid. And some days I'm relieved. Because I'm not living a lie anymore. I know the truth, however horrible it is. And I can build something real from here. People ask if I think they planned it. If it was an affair from the beginning. If Marcus married me to get to her. I don't think so. I think it really did just happen. 2 people who spent a lot of time together. Who had chemistry. Who made a series of selfish choices that destroyed everyone around them. Does that make it better? Does it matter if they planned it or if it was spontaneous betrayal? I don't know. Either way, the result is the same. My husband and my mother chose each other over me. Over Emma. Over any shred of decency. They're happy now, I hear. Through the grapevine. Living their best life. No shame. No consequences beyond losing me. Marcus lost his daughter. Sees her 4 hours a month. Will never be a real father to her. That's his consequence. My mother lost her daughter and her granddaughter. Will never hold Emma again. Will never be part of her life. That's hers. Are those consequences enough? No. Nothing could be enough for what they did. But they're what we have. And I have to find a way to live with that. I'm dating again. Casually. Nothing serious. Don't know if I'll ever trust anyone enough to get serious again. How do you trust after this? How do you believe someone when they say they love you? When the two people who were supposed to love you most betrayed you in the most intimate way possible, I don't have the answer. Maybe there isn't one. Maybe trust is just a leap you take knowing you might get hurt. Maybe that's all it ever is. What I do know is this. I survived. I'm still here. I'm still Emma's mother. I'm still building a life. Maybe not the life I planned, but a life. And Marcus and my mother? They'll have to live with what they did. They'll have to face themselves every day knowing what they destroyed, who they hurt, what they sacrificed for their relationship. I hope it's worth it. I hope every time they look at each other, it's worth what they did to me. Because if it's not, then they destroyed everything for nothing. And that might be worse than the betrayal itself. 3 weeks ago, my husband disappeared for 3 days. And when he came back, my entire life changed. My marriage ended. My relationship with my mother ended. My idea of family shattered. But I didn't end. I'm still here. Broken, yes. Changed, absolutely. But here. And I'll keep being here. For Emma. For myself. Because that's what you do. You survive the unsurvivable. You get through the unthinkable. You rebuild from the rubble. One day at a time. One breath at a time. One moment of choosing to keep going. That's all any of us can do. And somehow, it's enough.